owners, the little mom and pops? Because if you're not making a lot of money as a mom and pop, then this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the other thing about Idlewild is that we have a lot of our economy is tourism based.
Right.
It's a mountain town, so in the summer everybody comes up to go hiking, camping, etc. On the weekends, you can barely, make it through town going 2 miles an hour, just for all the pedestrian traffic. And then in the winter, everybody comes up for the snow. So,
no problem there then.
Yeah. So I
don't know.
I think we're okay.
I got to imagine if you're a mom and pop store that sells, I don't know, for sake of an argument, balls of twine. If you're the only store in town selling balls of twine and you're not being sort of like edged out by a megalomart or something like that that buys entire countries so that the country can then produce balls of twine for them, therefore driving the price down and you out of business. If you don't have to compete against that, I would imagine that the minimum wage hike in that situation wouldn't be as tough to suffer through in those situations. But it's weird when Funkhauser and I were talking about this, that there's a lot of porn chicks on Twitter that I follow for, professional reasons. And only
Science.
because... science.
Yeah.
No, I follow them for a couple of reasons. A, boobs. Two, because when broadcasting all of a sudden sort of cottoned on to the fact that social media was going to be a part of the product and what you had to do, and it was here to stay, and being a broadcaster now involved having a Facebook and a Twitter and an Instagram and all the above, I kind of looked at who was making the best progress with that stuff, and it was far and away the best social media marketers on the face of the planet are porn chicks. And I think because they realize that, well, hey, I don't have to go sign a contract with Vivid where I get paid exactly nothing to get railed to make money anymore. Like it used to be, if you were in porn, you got paid nothing to be in the movies, but then you made the big cash by going and doing your feature dancing in strip clubs and stuff like that. So they were basically just adding to their notoriety by appearing in these movies for nothing. And all of a sudden they're like, hold on, I can build my own notoriety on the interwebs without having to sign a contract, without having to shake hands with the devil. And so they got really good at it really fast, I noticed. And, they started promoting things like webcam shows and whatnot. And that used to be through a third-party organization. And now what you see on Twitter is like, hey, send me money through my PayPal and you and I can have a private Skype session. And one step beyond that is, if you buy me something off of my Amazon wish list, if you buy me a microwave oven, if you contribute to my rent, if you get me stuff off of my Amazon wish list, you can have a private Skype session with me. And it almost, on the one hand, yeah, it's seedy, but on the other hand, it's almost taking us back to a barter society, and I wonder if that's where we're going. It's like, screw the middleman, screw paying taxes. I have a lawnmower. What do you have? Okay, like America might just become this giant digital swap meet. Just because with people trying to weasel out a minimum wage, like I'll give you a bunch of food and a place to stay if you work. You can live in the apartment above my store, and I'll give you food every single day if you manage my store and run it. And no money would change hands. And I wonder if that's where we're headed because, the porn stars seem to be ahead of the curve.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can't obviously say who thanks to an ND, but I I worked as a personal assistant to a well-known, adult film actress. And that's exactly what she was doing. And it was amazing to be like, we would have these boxes getting delivered every day from Amazon. And even though it was all things on her wish list, sometimes she'd look and go, I don't like them anymore. You want them? Like, some brand new, like...
So, wait a second. She was foreign.
Gucci watch.
One step away from breaking through this non-disclosure agreement.
I may have thrown you off with the accent, though. You never know.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
That was a very nondescript foreign accent.
Yeah. She could have been Ukrainian or from Mexico. Who the hell knows?
Who knows? But yeah, no, totally. And I have a few other friends that also work in, we'll just say, the adult industry that, it's the same kind of thing, private session. You can either pay cash or, depending on which item you buy, from the Amazon store, depends on how many hours you get.
Wow.
And
buy me a microwave.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Sometimes it's paid vacations is another one.
It's so funny because like I look at, like, Funkhauser and I work for ostensibly the largest broadcast company on the face of the planet, and you see the digital department here trying to figure out how to monetize the internet and monetize social media and stuff like that, and they're honestly It honestly feels like they're rubbing two sticks together trying to create a spark. And meanwhile, there's people out there with a scorched earth policy with flamethrowers being like, I'll take some more money. And like Snapchat, I've noticed that like if you pay some girls, they'll add you to their Snapchat list. Like that's what I'm seeing on Twitter. Like if you send me money or buy me something off my Amazon wish list, you get to participate in seeing me naked on Snapchat. It's like, it's crazy.
Amazing.
And meanwhile, the president of our digital department is like, I think we should be on Snapchat. We're not sure what it's good for yet, but we think it creates this thing called FOMO, fear of missing out. Meanwhile, there's like single chicks sitting alone, getting naked, snapping themselves for 10 to 15 seconds and getting entire new bedroom sets. It's like we're so far behind the curve on this stuff.
Or there's girls like me who did one HBO show 15 years ago, and you can still Google my boobs.
To Google! That was awkward. Let's go on with the news, Funkhauser.
All right, in other news, most authors make less than minimum wage for their writing.
Well, I think we have two examples of that on the show today. You're a writer, Amanda, right? You would consider that to be one of the things that you do?
Yes.
And would you say you make less than minimum wage for most of the work that you put into writing?
I have yet to be paid for my writing, so absolutely I would agree with that statement.
See, like before I managed to pay my bills, only having to sell blood twice a month to make rent in radio, I was a writer. Like it was one of the things I did. I wrote articles for. Weirdly enough, I wrote articles for Modern Luxury magazine, like a magazine read across the country, mostly by really rich 60-year-old white women. And I was like the music correspondent on that. So I'd be like doing pieces on like gangster rap and then sanitizing it for, because it was interesting. I got brought in to do an article on this rapper Slim Thug, and people were interested in him because he had all the money in the world. He was driving like these old rich white people cars. He had a fleet of Rolls-Royce Phantoms, and like they're like, can you write an article on this stuff? He seems to have a lot of the accoutrements that our 60-year-old white women are interested in reading about. So like I got brought in to do that, and I wrote articles for Modern Luxury. I did a little bit of work for Maxim and a couple of other sort of like publications locally in and around Texas. And it was like, you're getting paid, I don't know, between $100 and $200 an article, or $100 or $200 a page. And it's like, you know, a long article is sort of 2-3 pages. So you really, but the amount of work that goes into writing a $500 article is like, it's bananas. Like, you ever tried to interview Nikki Sixx? Either one of you ever done that?
I've tried to have a conversation with Nikki Sixx.
So Nikki Sixx is honestly a great interview and fantastic to talk to, and on radio works unbelievably well. But if you are trying to transcribe what he said, he basically talks in 1 2-hour run-on sentence. And if you're trying to like sit there with a tape recorder being like, what the hell did Nikki say, and how do I break this down into bite-sized pieces that make it look like I have at least a 5th grade level of appreciation for grammar and punctuation, it takes forever. Like transcribing a Nikki Sixx interview, I remember, because this was the most difficult one I had, like transcribing a Nikki Sixx interview took me like 8 hours to do, and that was just getting what he said off of tape onto paper or onto my computer screen. I was just like, ugh, forget it. But yeah, most authors, as it turns out, make less than minimum wage for their writing. And the woman who wrote Twilight is a billionaire. My point, there is no God and life sucks.
Best that I can be. So when my time is done, I can say I had some fun. Yo, I always hit the track with undeniable style. While digging ditches for bitches, I'm causing miles of smiles. Building bridges to riches while spitting venom and bile. Not stacking piles of papers, but yo, I think I will in a while. The world will wake up to this modern kind of style. I bring a portion of proper accolades, and fortune will be smiling upon what I do and the things that I say. A renaissance of thought leading us all to brighter days. So I don't believe that you're as stupid as what they tell me, and I do believe that we're beyond the mediocrity monopoly of our conformity of the way we're taught. The despondency, dishonesty, the cacophonous bureaucracy. I'm just trying to be the best that I can be. So when my time is done, I can say I had some fun. I'm just trying to be the best that I can be. So when my time is done, to be a good person, to lift yourself up and try and be that better version of all the potential people you got living in your mind. It takes more than happy chance and circumstance. You gotta decide that you're gonna keep your head up, treat people how you want to be treated, hold doors and be polite, try not to be conceited. But sometimes, kinda sorta all the times, it seems it's true. It's harder than anything else to observe that golden rule, especially when everybody you meet seems like a freaking tool, and it seems like everyone's got a whole lot of chlorine in their gene pool. Sometimes I get angry, I tell everyone to bite me, especially on days when the universe is trying to spite me. I think to myself, I'm better than that. Think to myself, I'm better than that. Think to myself, I'm better than that. Better than that, better than that. I'm just trying to be the best that I can be, so when my time is done, I can say I had some fun. I'm just trying to be the best that I can be, so when my time is done, I can say I had some fun. Think for yourself, you're better than that. Think for yourself, you're better than that. Think for yourself, you're better than that. Better than that, better than that. But then I think to myself, I'm better than that. Think to myself, I'm better than that. Think to myself, I'm better than that. Better than that, better than that. I'm just trying to be the best that I can be, so when my time is done, I can say I had some fun. I'm just trying to be the best that I can be, so when my time is done, I can say I had some fun. Rolling up in H-Town, always hot enough to do with the top down. Cool breeze, palm trees, tonight it's all good in the 713. Whoa, 713, whoa, 713, whoa, 713. I was in 212, now it's 713. Well, here I am with the H-Town jam. Came to the city with a master plan. H-Town is my home wherever I'm at. On my return to the land of the Astrodome. People go like ice by TV Johnny. Treat you the same if you don't got money. Don't hardly ever gonna look at you funny. 8 days out of 10, it is always sunny. 7 to the 1, 1 to the 2. Come on everybody, rep the city for me. 7 to the 1, 1 to the 2. Come on everybody, rep the city for me. Whoa, 713, whoa, 713, whoa, 713. I was in 212, now it's in 713. Whoa, 713, whoa, 713, whoa, 713. I was in 212, now it's in 713. Well, it's a podcast kid from the 212. From New York City, so gritty, I'm steady coming at you. But I got that south of my mouth, I emigrated, I made it. And in the H, I can shine. In NYC, I was faded. New York to H-Town is a move I made. East Coast to Third Coast, and I'm glad I stayed. New York, that's where all my dues were paid. But now in H-Town, I got it made. 7 to the 1, 1 to the 2. Come on everybody, rep the city for me. 7 to the 1, 1 to the 2. Come on everybody, rep the city for me. Whoa, 713, whoa, 713, whoa, 713. I was in 212, now it's in 713. Whoa, 713, whoa.
Go ahead, favorite the show and enjoy AD on the go. iHeartRadio presents AD.
Here's the thing about being a writer. You guys know Stephen Fry?
Yes.
He's one of my huge favorites, and I've been binge watching a lot of his stuff on every single platform that exists, pretty much. And he talked about being a writer, being called to be a writer, and he was saying like, oh my God, if you're either a writer or you're not. You either have to do it or it doesn't matter to you. It doesn't matter if you're getting paid. It doesn't matter if you are making money doing it or if it's your career. But if you've got this bug where you have to like write things down on a piece of paper or on a computer screen and in some way, shape, or form communicate with the person that's reading it, once you're bitten by that, that's pretty much it. There's no out for you. So I don't know. It really disheartens me, this thing about